The protagonist of Fallout 2 is the Chosen One, a tribal from the village of Arroyo and the descendant of the Vault Dweller. While most members of the tribe revere you for being the Chosen One, there was once a character who despised you for it. There's a cut rival for the player named Kaga who was also a member of Arroyo's tribe, but his nefarious actions led to him being cast out by the village elder. The player would have first encountered him not long after leaving Arroyo, and during this initial fight, he'd be equipped with a super stim pack and 5 spears that he would throw, hitting you about 70% of the time. He would have been accompanied by several tribal outcasts, who do appear in random encounters in the final game. As the battle started, he'd say floating text like, "I should have been the Chosen One. I will have my revenge on you. And how dare Arroyo cast me out of the tribe?" After being hit once, he'd run away, saying lines like, "We will meet again. I will dedicate myself to your destruction, and I have never been beaten before." He has 12 movement points and a significant amount of HP, making it essentially impossible for a low-level player to actually kill him. But it was apparently a potential outcome as a variable tracks if he's been killed. He also has various items and cash that he doesn't use during the fight, which were likely intended to be a reward for actually managing to kill him. If the player somehow defeated him, this story would anticlimactically end there, but assuming the player failed to kill him, you could randomly encounter him 4 more times on the world map, and he'd have progressively better stats, improved equipment, and new dialogue. In every fight after the first, the player would also have their own unique floating text triggered at the start of the battle. Lines like, "It's that Kaga guy again, so we meet again, Kaga," and "Go away, Kaga." The second encounter would occur near Modoc and featured Kaga using leather armor and a 14mm pistol, but his gun skill was very low, causing him to comically miss around 90% of the time. He would have had a small band of low-level bandits backing him up. While you fought, he'd say, "This will be the last time Kaga meets you. Kaga will have your head for a trophy, and surrender and your death will be quick." He'd run away once more after taking 75 points of damage. As he ran, he'd state, "Kaga will be back. You cannot kill the great Kaga, and you are lucky Kaga has business elsewhere." In the third fight near Redding, he would have upgraded to metal armor and an assault rifle, slightly improving his gun skill, but still missing 80% of his attacks. This time he would have had some raiders join him, making this the first genuinely difficult fight. During the encounter, he'd say, "You again. I grow tired of our constant meetings. You will regret you ever heard the name Kaga, and my skills have increased since the last time we met." Once you dealt 100 damage, he would flee, saying, "This is getting to be a bad habit. Kaga needs to train a little more, and Kaga will return." The next time you ran into him would have been near NCR, and he'd have combat armor and a minigun, but would still miss around 65% of his shots. He would also have several marauders fighting alongside him. As you battled, he'd state, "This time I'm prepared for you. The Chosen One will never return to Arroyo, and Kaga will crush you." After taking 100 damage, he'd run away a final time, boasting, "We will meet again. This is not the last you will see of Kaga, and Kaga definitely needs more training." In the final encounter near San Francisco, he'd have power armor MK2, a laser minigun, 5 stim packs, and plasma grenades. He would have had a team of strong mercenaries backing him up, making it into one of the most difficult random encounters in the entire game. Unlike previous encounters, he'd no longer run away, and would instead fight the player to the death, saying lines like, "I tire of the chase. Let's finish this. I am looking forward to going home to Arroyo to burn it down. This part of the waste doesn't need a do-gooder like you. After I kill you, I will be the most feared person in this part of the waste, and I look forward to sending you to your next life." He'd actually die this time after taking 350 damage, and you could loot $5,000 and a pulse rifle from his corpse. Kaga was a cool character concept, and these encounters could have been a fun experience, but I do think it was for the best that he was ultimately left out. Encountering the same character multiple times and not having a real chance to actually kill him until the last fight feels like something straight out of a JRPG, not a Fallout game. And thankfully, all of this was left on the cutting room floor.